In this video, we're going to learn the double T. The double T looks like a trellis when it's stitched, as you can see along the bottom in the pink here. I'm working with Very Velvet. I like velvet. It's fun, it's different, it gives it a lot of texture. Again, you can use silk, ribbon, wool, cotton. I just happen to pick Very Velvet for this particular canvas, and it gives you an opportunity to work with a different kind of thread. So again, I made a knot, and I know that the canvas is getting filled up with lots of knots, but that's okay because you're going to cut them off later. And I'm going to be starting in this side, so I'm just going to stick my there to lock in my stitches. So like I said, it's an over 2 stitches on a diagonal, so my stitches are going to lay this way. So I'm going to go 1, 2, so it's down 2 and over 2, and I'm going to cross over these 2 meshes. 1, 2, down. The other trick with this stitch is that you're going to be skipping I say hole. Some people would say mesh, but I always skip. For me, it's easier to know I'm skipping a hole to work across, so when you come back to make your diagonal T, you'll cover up that. So really, this is a great stitch to just watch the pattern and see what happens. So I'm going to skip, start, and go over 1, 2, and down. So again, I'm going to skip, start, over 1, 2, and down. Skip, start. Skip, start. Skip, start. And I'm going to do this all the way across. So we talked about compensation stitches before. There's a compensation stitches in here that you'll want to get as you go or come back later for. Your compensation stitches would be these open meshes right here, as well as one I'm putting in now. So I want to turn the corner, and so I finished this last stitch, and I want to cover up this mesh so it's one compensation stitch. But now I need to come back this way and make them look like diagonal T's. So like we said, we're gonna I want them to line up underneath, so I'm going to cross over 2 threads. So see how it looks like a diagonal T? And I'm going to do that all the way across. So I'm going to do, again, skip and start. This is another great video just to watch and stitch along with. It's a little difficult to explain at times. You'll have a stitch guide to help you. Skip, start. When you put in those compensation stitches, they're all going to go this direction. You want to follow the same direction. So for example, I can put one in now to show you that while I'm doing that, I came up and got my compensation stitch. That's okay to do. So that you can see that this whole row will be covered with compensation stitches. So I'm going to go back to coming back this way and finishing my pattern. So I'm going to skip, start. One great tip about velvet is that there's a core inside, and what happens is if you don't move your needle around often, you'll start to wear down the velvet to the core. It's just the way the thread is made. It's not a natural fiber, so it happens to do that. So every 5, 6, 7 stitches, I tend to move my thread around so that I don't start to get a kink in my thread as I started to get there. You'll know if you have made an error along the way because your T's won't look like they're diagonal. You'll be able to see the error that might have been made in your pattern eventually. So skip, start. Now I'm coming to this circle that's in my pattern, and that's okay. I'm just going to work around it. So I'll do that by continuing on. I could put a compensation stitch there as I come across. What I'm going to do is pretend that I'm going somewhere. So I'm going to pretend I'm skipping, starting, skipping, starting, skipping, and I start. So I know where to go next. I just pretend that I would have gone there, but I don't stitch there. What I suggest is that you put your circles in before you do your double T. That way you're not getting any threads caught in each other, and you can pull the velvet behind your circles. So I did that in here. I put these in and then see how I went over it so that I could start my, to continue my row. That's okay to do in these little pieces.